welcome back to our continuing series, Today's Senior with Synergy Home Care. Welcome back. Well, a recent AARP survey shows that 86% of people age 65 and older want to remain in their home for as long as possible. Living independently is definitely a goal for baby boomers and members of the greatest generation. But sometimes they need some help to do that. So Ruth Busalacchi is with Synergy Home Care. She's here with signs that someone you love might need a little more support. Good to see you, Ruth.
Good morning, Tiffany.
Thanks for joining us. You know, I think that does not surprise people that aging loved ones want to stay in their home longer, but that they might need a little bit of help. So you call this benevolent probing, and that's how you can get to some of these answers. How do you describe benevolent probing?
Yes. So really, benevolent probing is just a way to say, out of good intention, I'm going to look and dig a little bit deeper as a loved one, so that I'm able to catch signs that may lead to a little bit of extra support so my loved one can in fact live at home. We all as human, we have human nature tendencies not to share where we might need a little support. And so that's why you need to probe a little bit to identify those areas, and therefore you can help them stay at home.
Yeah, because nobody wants to feel like a burden, and nobody really wants to ask for help. And I think that's very true of our aging generation as well. So you say
Correct.
These questions get to a combination of observation and conversation to cover 4 key areas. And these are open-ended questions. So the first one you say is, how is your aging senior managing their day-to-day medical health needs?
Correct. You know, this is a time we're seeing our families either during the holidays or perhaps we're on video chat. Pay a little bit more attention than usual to their hygiene. Do they look well shaven? Are their clothes looking as though they fit well? Or perhaps are you a little concerned that maybe their clothes are ill-fitting? Do they have good, healthy skin tone? Or perhaps do they look a little bit tired and maybe a little bit pale? Those may be indicators that managing their daily living skills, the things we do every day, making sure that we eat healthy and that we're staying on top of our health and wellness, those things might be slipping and perhaps could take advantage of a little bit of extra support in the home.
A lot of people are worried about memory. So how do we get to that probing about changing memory?
You know, that's a tricky one. The first thing you always want to do, as you mentioned earlier, is that you don't want to ask simple yes or no questions. You really want to ask a question that's going to require a true answer. The best way to do that is to talk about current events, to talk about family functions, weddings coming up, babies that are due. You can really get to the heart of whether or not they're aware of the things that are going on in the short term. Another great way to identify that is to ask them to show them your medical calendar. Most of us keep our appointments on a calendar. Take a look at that, and you can get a sense of whether or not they're staying on top of their health and wellness. We also like to look in a refrigerator. It's surprising what you can learn by looking in someone's refrigerator and to see if they're actually staying on top of eating healthy. And medication is another area where you might see someone's memory forgetfulness to take their medication, that type of thing.
I also like how on that topic you say, you know, if you ask questions and they brush off your answers or brush you off with answers like yes, oh, you know, that's just another indication that some of those answers they can't find the answer to. Another one is mobility concerns. A lot of people, I know with my mom, we had to change a lot of the rugs just because, you know, the movement isn't quite the same. Steps are harder, things like that.
Correct. You know, watching someone get in and out of a chair is a great indicator to see their strength and mobility, right? Taking a walk or asking them if you're on a video chat to give you a tour of the house, you get a sense of their gait and their strength. We call it furniture walking if they're grabbing onto furniture as they walk through the home. That might mean that they need a little bit attention to some medical attention, maybe some exercise to build up their strength, better nutrition to build up their protein, those types of things.
What if they're still driving? Is there anything to notice about that with mobility?
Yes, driving is so important. We can't take that any more seriously. We should always look at the vehicle, or ask to take a look at the vehicle. If you see dings and scratches that are new, that could be a sign that they're having some trouble. It might be reflex issues. It might be sight or hearing. They're having some trouble, and you want to take action on that right away.
That's really great. That's a good one to know. How about social engagements and mental health? Because I feel like right now it's so hard because of safety issues, going places and seeing people, whether it's even family or friends. You know, an aging loved one might not feel like that's safe with the pandemic.
It's so challenging during this COVID time for all of us, and we've all had to learn to adapt. What we're finding with seniors is that the isolation is actually leading to more memory issues, causing depression. Their inability to adapt is really a serious issue. So face-to-face visits are more important than ever. If you're talking with your family and you're asking them to, check in and how are you visiting with your friend Mabel, who you used to play cards with, are you still connecting? If they're losing those connections, it really is a time to step in.
Those are great tips. I really appreciate you sharing this with us, Ruth. Thank you so much. I'm going to give the information so people can contact you.
Wonderful.
You can call Synergy Home Care for a resource assessment. It's for your potential benefits. There's a lot there. Customize a plan that's unique to your needs and to your budget. They'll work with you. Their phone number is 414-763-8368, or you can find them online at synergyhomecare.com.